Sige, good morning.
Morning.
Uy, morning Tito Raymond.
Good morning.
Anak ko kayong dili busy. Di lang tao. Hindi pa natin natikman yung nasa ibabaw. No, yeah. Yeah, that one. Bukas na lang. Salad bar. Papi. Oh, coffee. Coffee for me, please. Papa. Pareha-pareha ang choices.
Yes.
Buenos dias, amigo. When they say buenos dias, there's no S. Buena dia. Buena dia? Buenos dias? Yeah, nada eh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
We're trying to learn.
Coffee. You want coffee now?
Region, and claim this region for themselves and split the city. They split the island into half, just like happened in La Española with the Dominican Republic and Haiti. It's just an island, but it was controlled by two.
Yeah.
The-
This is it. It looks like really.
Luoy kayo ilang mga buildings na naman sa?
Pero no.
Napag-iwanan ng panahon ba?
No. May nada. Mas ano sila. Di mas atuak. Mas kuater.
This,
Yeah.
this name
Despacito. Ito na washroom pa.
Eko Gondala.
Yeah. Kanta dong. Asas mo na. Ito na ni, pili na. Ay, kati yung lingin-lingin. Hangyo dia manit. Hangyo lubo. Ganahan ko mo palitan na. I like that.
Ito?
Yeah. No. This one. Katong present mo ha. It's cute. Yeah, I wanna buy that. Yeah. Pero, so, exactly. Tagpila gito mo sa?
$1.
$1 each. Unya is $5 or 6. Look at all
some
the
of
tanks.
these materials, guns, planes, use it during the struggle for the revolution in between 1957 or 1950 and 1959. No? That cheap inheritance in the middle in there, that's a yacht called Grandma. That's the boat that took Fidel Castro and the other members, the other expeditionaries. They just came down by that boat in order to. That's the only Cuban rum that is not made in Cuba. Nowadays, they try Bacardi under the name of a Cuban rum, but they make it in the Dominican Republic. They make it in Puerto Rico,
Yeah, see? Puerto Rico.
but not anymore in Cuba. Here in front of the Revolution Museum. Why nowadays the Revolution Museum and not the presidential palace like used to be in between the 1920 and 1960? Why? Because after the revolution triumph, Fidel Castro came down in here, but he said that the Cuban people always like thieves, and he didn't want that image for this revolutionary government. So that's why they moved the government of Cuba, the presidents of Cuba, from here to another location. And in the same building, they organize what they call, or we call, the Revolution Museum, where there are, parts, stuff that used to belong struggles and to the
That's like
we're
tricycle
heading
niya.
into this symbolic park on the city of Havana, which is very well known like the Central Park. Around here, well, not only you'll be able just to enjoy of all of these collections cars that are part of these attractions on the city of Havana.
Look at the cars.
You know, this tour, this panoramic tour that
Wow.
we're just doing
Oh,
right
pink.
now. People used to
Is
do
that a
it
pink?
in those cars. If later at the in a free time you want just to give it a try, just let me know. We can make an arrangement with any of these car drivers.
Well, we should try.
Just to go and make
Kung di rin makanis ato mga bana.
you know,
Right?
an hour.
No, we can
Just
ask.
visit and take your pictures and these gorgeous cars that are like I told you are part of an attraction nowadays in our Capitol building that people sometimes used to remind them of
The capital.
of the Washington Capitol building. Yeah, because by that time we were really influenced by the Americans, so that's why we just raised this Capitol building
Yeah, ayos gid ang ilaw.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The same as
quite like a replica of this Havana Capitol building.
Look
Inside,
at all those windows. They look so
wonderful images,
nostalgic,
country.
right?
And
Pag
that is
mano yun,
the
kalwara kayo.
component of the Cuban national
Looks nice.
anthem. Right in here, we
Hotel
got
Saratoga.
this park, which is very well known like the Fraternity Park, Latin American Fraternity Park. This was created in the 50s, you know, with the idea just to gather, you know, not only the Cuban people but the people of America. So that's why they planted in the middle that tree, this seal caput tree, which is quite of this was planted in there with soil of different countries of Latin America, and around in there, you know, images, you know, boosters of all of these important heroes of Latin America, like Simon Bolivar, like Lincoln, like many other personalities. Here, this is part of this newest Havana, but as you can see, there are even buildings from the 19th century, like this Aldama Palace that we saw over there to our left, you know. But there are also some other facilities that are more like from the 20s and 30s, because that's what we mean when we say, you know, modern Havana, the newest Havana, you know, the Havana that started to be built into the 20th century, beginning of the 20th century. Havana that is was really marked
Manit, mura nagdagdas ko
by
no.
this North American
Right?
influence. So that's why you're gonna see some buildings that sometimes looks more like, you know, these neighborhoods in the States and stuff like that. Here, this is the Avenue of the Queen. Here you'll be able just to see the Cubans in this day-by-day struggle, you know, trying to get their meals, trying to do their business, you know, in order just to get
Look how old that is.
want.
Wow.
Pero i-build na nila.
Havana is a city that
Some of
is
it.
actually one of the attraction of the city. It's also it is the contrast that we can get, you know, the different colors, but also the different styles, you know, architectonical styles. You look around, you're gonna see that all the buildings, one after the other, all of them, or most of them, they have different styles. They have different facades. Why? Because this is part of this attractions of the city. The city of Havana, it was called by a Cuban writer, Alejo Carpentier. He used to call the city of Havana the city of columns. You may see why.
Yeah. Makes
How
sense.
many columns we have all around it. One of the most gorgeous buildings around here for me is this one we have here to our left, which is this
Oh, this
church,
one.
the Sacred Heart of Christ here, which is quite unique because this church, a style that is not very common to find in our country, the neo-Gothic style. Here to your right, the building of the Masons of Cuba, right in there,
Mga Mason.
a yellow building up there. This is one of the most important fraternities in our country. Well, most of the revolutions, the struggles of the revolution.
Look at that.
Were organized.
So pretty.
Masons. Cuban flag was inspired, in the French Masons, ideas.
Nice, kita na ng mga windows to, the columns, no?
Stuff like those, Here to your left, Carlos III. This is a mall, one of the most important malls, and it was inspired, and the original name of this on the revolution at the beginning of the revolution in the 60s took place in this place, and that's why
Fidel.
this square from
Si
being
Tito-
the
si
Civic
Tito
Square
Fidel.
started to be called the Revolution Square. Around here, some other important facilities, for instance, here to your left, the ministry, the Army Ministry of Cuba, and
Asa ta papa? Makabaw, wala may na-store ka na eh.
Wag ko nang minus.
Ako'y bota na Junjun. Saan ta ngayon? Hindi ka nakinig sa tour guide, ha? Revolutionary Square. After 10 years, we are back! Anong masasabi mo after 10 years, Raimundo de Jesus?
I feel happy.
Nostalgic?
When we were young,
I know, right?
10 years ago, I was still young. Now, 10 years after, I'm still.
Kinsa may magdahom nga mabalik na diri. Right? Are you happy, Simonette? That we are
Hello.
back here? Mga momshies!
The white potato. Speaking of the white.
Naka-white ba tato?
Yep. More white that time. I remember clearly.
Yes.
this was important personality that actually inspired the ideas of Fidel Castro.